What's up guys, and welcome back to Empire Total War. I have got my desk, it is set up. I'm currently recording this at 7 o'clock at night on, actually 8 o'clock at night on Sunday. So if this isn't up on Tuesday, then apologies. It's probably quite unlikely at this stage that I'll get it up on Tuesday. It might be Wednesday before this is up, but anyway, if you're watching this, it is finally up and we're good to go. So, last week, what happened last week? Not a lot, as far as I can remember. Oh yeah, I do remember actually. We lost our army. We lost our army that we sent up to Montreal. We were trying to take Montreal and completely messed it up because I was far too impatient. Frankly, we had a very good win over this army here, down here somewhere. They followed us down, which is what I was hoping they would do, and we beat them. And then they cleared off up here, and we went back and tried to take Montreal, which royally messed up. They still had quite a large army in Montreal. I thought we could take it. Why I decided to try and auto-resolve it is another question entirely, and I can't even really fathom the reasoning behind it, because I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, we ultimately lost that entire army, because the army that we did beat came back and attacked us again in our ruined state, and completely annihilated us, and we're now down that army. We do still have this army though, which almost got taken out last week as well by the Quebec Navy, this ship here I think it was. We were sitting up here trying to come around the top to attack Quebec from the top, and they attacked us up here, and we managed to flee far enough to get away and survive another day. So I dumped my men off here, took Fort Nashwack, and the ships that dumped us off then got completely ripped to pieces by, I think we ran away from the Quebecians, and then, sorry, the Quebecois, and then this Gran Columbian fleet decided to rock up and take us out finally. So yeah, we lost that fleet. So we're now stuck in Fort Nashwack. We will hopefully try and build on this, try and get over here and take Quebec. We did actually have quite a win over these guys last week. They decided to turn up on their horses, and we swiftly kicked them out, and they cleared off back over this direction. So we've continued to build up more men. We're still recruiting more men here in Detroit as well to make sure that it doesn't happen. They can't take it back at any point, and to defend from the Quebecois. But that was pretty much all that happened. So yeah, and we still have some money. I'm not sure what to do. I think Panama's at risk because the Gran Columbians still declared war on us a couple of weeks ago, and there was an army sitting around here, but I haven't seen it since, so I'm not sure what they're planning, if they're ever going to come up here, but we might have to look at possibly recruiting more men down here. I might just do that actually, whilst we're here. So yeah, that'll hopefully be done in a couple of turns, just to help protect Panama from the Gran Columbians. As for Europe, there's not much happened. We lost Milan a couple of weeks ago to France in a plea deal to try and get away from being at war with them. So we're now back to being at peace with France, after the swiftest war you've ever seen. They declared war on us, and we immediately requested peace and gave them Milan in turn for it. So I don't know how long that peace will last. Probably not too long, I would imagine. I think they'll probably be back pretty quickly. We have a rebellion in southern Italy. I've not even looked at India in the last couple of weeks, so we got peace with these guys, and since then we've just kind of stopped. So yeah, I think we're in a pretty decent place over here though. In terms of our armies, they're still pretty solid. We might actually, what I might do is well, that costs us all our money. All right, okay, we'll replenish that army, which we might use to come up this direction at some stage. Still not sure about this. We're kind of focusing on the Americas at the moment, but I think we'll in turn see what happens, and well, I don't really know what's going to happen after that. I've got no plans. So yeah, we'll see what everyone else decides to do. Are you actually going to end turn? There we go. Eventually. That'll be a no. They want to take Hyderabad for 2 I don't... No. Just... No. This is twice in 2 weeks that they've come and done this. They want 3 technologies in turn for 1. I mean, they're basically on death's door. I don't know what's happened with Sweden. They were at war with Russia, but that seems to have stopped, so I'm not sure what they're planning. I don't know if it can be good, because I think we're the only other people near them that are willing, that they would probably be willing to try and attack. Well, you can clear off. I mean, why would you even bother? I mean, you've got like a third of the amount of men that we have. We also have 3 generals. 3! How are you ever going to beat a battle, like win a battle against an army with 3 generals? Anyway, right, clear off. And you go, twat. Right. Still got absolutely no idea what to do. I think this episode's probably just going to be a lot of like just building up armies, to be quite honest. Replenishing and building as big an army as we possibly can in the... I don't want pikemen. In the Americas, so that we can take on Quebec, because, oh, like, they're coming. What? 1 unit? 1 unit? Are you mad? Are you actually mad? I mean, oh god, this is another thing as well, isn't it? To get over here, we need to go all the way up and all the way down because of this mountain range here. We could, I think, possibly... No, even... I don't know if you can get through there. I think this is, like, all just impassable. So, we have to go all the way up to the top of this place, up to Gaspé, and all the way down to cross over and attack Quebec. That's like a solid, like, 3 turns, oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, it will happen eventually, hopefully. I'm still kind of pissed off at the fact that these Gran Columbians haven't come and attacked us yet. Because I want to attack them, but the army that was sitting here, I don't want to attack in the middle of the open. I want them to come and attack us, because then we have a far better chance of beating them. And so far, they're not bothered. They're just sitting there, and they've just been raiding all of our ports with their fleets, which have just absolutely ruined a lot of our Caribbean trade at the moment. So a lot of this trade is being completely done in, because all of our ports in the Caribbean are pretty much on fire at this stage. So it's not the best situation to be in. I think our only option is to attack Bogota and attack Caracas and hope that we can beat them. But the thing is it takes about 5 turns to get to them, because it's just absolutely dense rainforest in between. So, like, getting down to here takes about 3 turns. Like, that's as far as you can get in 1 turn. So, like, it just takes forever. I mean, once we get down to here, there's roads, which will speed us up a bit, but this section here is going to take forever. So, yeah. And the last time I fought anyone out here, it didn't end too well. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm going. They're still standing there. We have about roughly equal-sized armies. Some of their units seem to be slightly battle-scarred, so we might stand a chance. We've got a lot of grenadiers, and a lot of cannons as well. I think if we attack them, I think I might do it myself, because I think we stand a pretty good chance of beating them myself. I don't trust the AI to beat them. Yeah, I think I'll just keep ending turn. Actually, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start building up armies in Italy. Because we already have some pretty hefty armies in Italy, but I'm going to build them up even more with the money that we've got, so that we can withstand an attack by the French. Because at this current state, again, no. Just no. Persia want a peace treaty in turn for money. Well, if you're that desperate for a peace treaty, you can have it, but I'm not going to be giving you money in turn for it, so you can clear off. Nope, yet again, you come in with your 1 technology for 3, and that's never an acceptable trade, especially a country in your position, Sweden. Why, Emmanuel Lassalle, with your 400 men, are you attacking 3,387? Right. Why are you attacking us? Because you're severely outnumbered and get absolutely ruined. Although they did kill quite a hefty amount of us for only having 394 men, but they've completely ceased to be, so they can clear off. Well, they don't need to clear off because they're in the ground. And this guy as well. Jangir Salah, right, yeah, dead. Dead. Absolutely dead. Well, that's 2 rebel armies dealt with that we don't have to worry about anymore. Actually, Ankara's on fire. We should probably fix that. Just thank you for pointing that out, rebel army. Otherwise, it would have probably been sitting there for the next like 4 or 5 turns before I eventually realised that it was still on fire. Are we repairing anything? I think we've repaired it. Okay. So it was on fire. It's now fixed. Right. What I was going to do: build armies. So what's this flashing at? Oh, okay, we've unlocked all the technologies and haven't bothered researching anymore because I don't think we've got any technologies that we can research, to be honest. I think everything that we can research is being researched. Okay, there's a couple of things in here. Right, you can research that, whatever that is, and you can research, well, you can't research anything apparently because you're still being repaired. Right, well, when you're finished you can research that. God knows how many turns it'll take you, but you can research it. We're 1 turn away from getting modern rifles. Sweet. So they, we almost have like guns with actual rifling on the inside of them, so they're far more accurate. Well, that could be quite useful. We already have a hefty amount of technologies. Although, then again, the French are just ridiculous with their technologies. I think they have literally everything. So, although it didn't help them, because we took everything they own. Right, yeah, so what we'll do with Rome, given that it's quite a large, quite a large city, so we can recruit 5 people, 5 units at a time. That'll do. We'll recruit some more down in Naples as well, and we shall build. Okay, maybe not pikemen. We don't really, actually no. We won't. Just keep building more of these sort of people. So in a turn, we should basically have half an army built, given that's 10 units between Naples and Rome being built at once. So in a good 2 or 3 turns, we should have like an army and a half built up that we can then send up here and just sit them inside Florence, with the intention of possibly going back and trying to take Milan off the French. It's just, this is a bit outrageous. 2 full-sized armies sitting there, another one here, another one there. I don't know what's in Milan because we can't see it. I'd imagine another full-sized army, but we will, if we can build up these armies, we could potentially have 3, possibly even more full-sized armies to head up this direction in a few turns, which would be quite nice. Right, Columbia. So, I think we shall just attack these guys, and I think we'll do it ourselves. It's showing us as having possibly a slight advantage. No, I think that's pretty 50-50. It would be nice, actually, if it was to display like an actual percentage if you hover over it. But we do have about 500 more men than them. They probably have the better units, though. They have grenadiers and some other interesting-looking units. We basically have militia. We shall attack them ourselves and hopefully beat them, because the last time I attacked somebody down here, I let the computer do it and we got absolutely annihilated. This was like years ago. But we don't really have the greatest of units, so I think we probably need to do this ourselves if we want to stand any chance of winning. I think it's probably going to come down to tactics over units. Right, so we're in. The shadows are having an absolute fit. What is going on? Does that fix it? Not really. It's just this quarter of the screen. Is this going to do this the whole map, like battle? It seems to have fixed itself. Yeah, okay. Seems to have fixed itself. Right. So, they already have a massive advantage because they're starting on the side of Mount Kilimanjaro. We are inside a pretty soft-looking forest, which is, again, thank to the game for putting us in one of the worst possible positions to be starting this battle. We have a ton of cavalry. An absolute ton of cavalry. I didn't realise how much cavalry we have. Right. So, I think it's so big I can't even fit it all in. Right, there we go. So we'll position our cavalry, I think, on the flanks. We've got more cavalry over here. Just set up on the far sides, and I think we'll just basically set up a line. They have cannons, which I think probably could hit us from there, especially if they're up there. So I think if we keep our men as far back as possible... we have cannons here as well. Right. On lumber! Can you put up defences of any sort? No. We do have explosive shells, though, which could be quite interesting. These guys are kind of half squat. What is this lad doing? What? Oh, right, okay. It's 2 people. I thought that was one guy's legs. I thought he was like leaning on this guy. Anyway, right. So I'm not sure if they're hidden or not. I wouldn't imagine they're hidden. If we put them there, they might be hidden. I'm not sure if they can be hidden. We'll just actually, I think they're probably in quite a good position. So we'll just go for it. See what happens. Right. So these guys, if we could... Right, there's their cannons. We could hit them. Right, try and hit their cannons. That would be the best thing to do right now. We can take their cannons out early. We are getting charged though by some cavalry. Right, okay, this could be dangerous. If we could take out... I don't know... Nah, it's not... I was hoping it might be their general. They might have just been absolutely insane and sent their general charging straight at us, but wouldn't appear to be. Shoot them! Or not. These guys are just standing there with axes out, and they've been completely pummeled. Right, okay, well this has gone badly wrong already. Right, you guys get in amongst it. Where's the cavalry? Where's the cavalry? Over here. Charge! Go. Absolutely pummel them. Right, get your hatchets out, boys. On you go. On you go. Hatchet to the face. Not paid any attention to what's going on over here. I thought there was a group of horses that charged over this direction, but they seem to have disappeared, so I'm not sure where they went. That cannonball is... Oh, they're explosive shells. I was going to say, like, why are you shooting so high, but... The explosive shells, I'm guessing, rain down? I'd hope they rain down. Right, so their cavalry's off. Our cavalry absolutely ruined them. Right, you guys come back. Right, okay, stop chasing them. Half my army just chasing after them. Right, get yourselves back in line. They don't know what to do, really. They kind of ran out of ideas, I think, after they charged us with those horses. Now they've cleared off. They don't really seem to have any other ideas. They're just kind of standing there, shooting their cannons at us, and we're shooting our cannons back. Although, having said that, we haven't done a great job. There are quite a few dead folk there, though. I don't think we've done much in the way of damage to them, but it seems like we may have done. These guys are still trying to shoot these horses that are running away. For some reason I can't even tell them to stop. They're still in melee mode, and they're deciding to waste all their ammo shooting things an absolute mile away. I have no idea if these explosive shells are supposed to be going off in the sky, or if they're supposed to be going off down here. If they're supposed to be going off up there, then they're working pretty well, but I can't help but think an explosive shell should be hitting and then blowing up. If you guys could possibly stop shooting at whatever it is you think you're still shooting at, it would be nice. Conserve some bloody ammunition. They've set up a bunch of bloody cavalry spikes here as well, so it's going to be dangerous to try and charge them. And they've got all their men set up on the hill behind. What I may do is just send my cavalry around to the sides in an attempt to try and spook them more than anything else, and see if we can get them to, like, sort of move out and, like, separate. I think if we come around here, we might actually be able to get behind them without them seeing us. So if we charge our way over here, we might be able to get all the way up the side of this hill and come across the top and come from behind. Because everybody loves coming from behind. Our cannons are currently on fire. Well, almost. The ground in front of them is severely on fire. These guys have the ability to shoot fire, so I think we'll try firing that again and see if we can actually hit them. Yes! Absolute annihilation. Look at it! Although, they don't seem to be too fuzzed about the whole situation. Oh, lads, you are currently on fire and don't seem to be giving a sweet fuck about it. Clearly just absolutely set them on fire and they just didn't even bother. Not even slightly bothered. Are they actually going to attack us now? Are they looking to attack us? Right, if you could get an explosive shell on that, that is going to do some serious damage. I think having our horses come around the side of the hills has actually, like, worked in our favour, because they are now kind of not really sure what to do. They seem to just be aimlessly running around. So that explosive shell, yeah, it did go off above them. I don't know how much damage it did to anybody though. They're all just collecting in a big heap. Which makes it easy for us to attack them, because if we can get cannonballs to land in there, it's going to do some serious damage. Oh wow, cannonball just hit there and they've all just like kind of shuffled around, but must have done some serious damage, I'd imagine. Can't even tell because there's that many people there. It's impossible to see if anybody's actually dying. What are the balls on this boy? He's just casually walking up to the cannonball goes off right beside him, and he's now just single-handedly taking them on. I'm guessing his cannon got destroyed, and he is raging. He's now dead. Unfortunate. You shall be missed, sir. He had some serious balls on him, though. His cannon obviously got destroyed, and he's like, well, screw this. And just walked up this way. Didn't even run, just casually walked up and started squaring off with a boy. And then got absolutely done in. So, yeah. I like the enthusiasm, but I think maybe next time you should possibly try and take some of your mates with you as well, because taking on this group on your own, not going to end too well. And, well, it didn't for him, unfortunately. Their general's now in the centre of it, and they're starting to move. I think that may have been because I moved my horses up this hill. They're starting to move around a little bit. What are they doing? I mean, I suppose that is one way of avoiding cannon fire. If you just run backwards and forwards, you probably will avoid it, but it's probably not going to do your energy levels too much good. This is one of the weirdest battles I've ever actually encountered in this game. Their general is pretty much in the midst of it. Seems to be avoiding the cannons so far, but if we can kill him, that might be what turns the tide of this battle. Not that the tide's really in their favour, but if we kill them, then they might be more inclined to run away. I might start marching our soldiers forward. Take these guys, and we'll just casually march them up here. Let's just see how these guys react to that, if they actually try to engage us, or if they run away, or what they do. These guys are clearing off this direction. This might be our opportunity, actually, to charge them, because they're all separated out. They're getting charged. Right. Cannons are currently being completely done in by our cavalry. These guys are about to get completely done in. And over here, we're all running away. Because what has happened? What has happened? Like, honestly, look at the catastrophe that has gone on here. How did this... Like, surely not all of them did that. There is no way. There's absolutely no way they managed to do that. Right, you know what? Just charge them. Like, I honestly don't know how this happened. Unless it was their cannons somehow, like, sent canister shot over here. But, like, how? That is so many. Oh, right, I have no idea. We have made some of them run away over this direction, though, which is successful. We then charge these guys as well. What? Have they got, like, mines? And now they're running into the cavalry spikes. Jesus Christ. I don't know if that was these guys that shot them, or if it was like a mine of some sort. But it seemed to just completely destroy us. Oh no, like, these guys are now thinking of running away as well. I don't know how they're capable of getting us, like, killing our horses in such great numbers with just regular infantry. It seems odd. Pikemen are running away. These guys are thinking of running. How are you making us all run away? I honestly don't get this. I just don't get it. How they can be so effective at getting our men to run away. It might just be the type of units we've got, actually. I think, like, these militia aren't great at, like, firing, like, in time. So I think, like, the fact they've got grenadiers and, like, better trained units by the looks of things, they, now these cavalry are off. Like, what happened to them? Oh, they ran into cavalry spikes. Wonderful. That's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, they're starting to run away, actually. I think we might still stand a good chance of winning this. It's just a bit 50-50 still at the moment. Actually, if everybody could just attack the general. Right, so just these cannons, really, that are still left. Now, we're continuing this. I'm wanting to kill this general. Everybody, kill the general. Just do it. So, what has happened? But they legitimately do. I think they've got, like, mines or some sort of, like, explosives that go off in front of their barricades. That is ridiculous. That might be what happened over here with all these horses, because to kill all that in one go, like, I don't think that was just, like, a single, like, unit of troops with their guns that managed to do that. That seems excessive. Especially the fact that the units that were standing there was only about, like, 20 of them. How they did that, I have no idea. I think there must have been some sort of explosion that went off. Their general's slowly walking away and is actually getting away as well. The one thing is, once we finish this battle, we're going to be in such bad shape as it is anyway, we're probably going to have to go back to Panama and regroup. Which gives them time to regroup, because there's not that much of, like, that many of us left. I think we've lost quite a hefty amount of troops here, even if we do win the battle. A close victory? Well, probably. I mean, if it wasn't for the ridiculous amounts of bloody landmines that would appear to be set up around them, then we would have probably still had a hefty amount of people. It seems like those took out so many of our men. Like, we almost lost as many men as they did. We just had the benefit of having 500 more. It's, yeah, not great. I mean, we killed 570, and yet they still managed to lose 1,212. They only killed 647 of us, and we lost almost 1,200 as well. So, like, it seems like the vast majority of people who died in that battle were killed by something other than the other team. So, I'm not really, like, the other team, the other, like, other army. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how they all died. Seems like the map was just exploding. We still have a large army in terms of units, but we have not that many men, because, like, these have only got, like, 5 and 8 men. So I think we're just going to head back. It has significantly dented their army, though. I still have no idea how many people are going to be in Bogota itself. That could be a completely different story. So we shall start recruiting more men inside. The Serbians actually were quite good recently, so I think we'll just get some Serbians. We need more cavalry, given that all of our cavalry got absolutely annihilated. And in 3 turns we should have enough men to head back down to Bogota and actually start challenging them. But I think that's probably going to call it a week, to be honest. I've got 9,000, well, 10,000 coins. Have we finished building our ships here? We have. So, we shall spend the remainder of our money on building even more ships, so that in, what, 3 more turns we should have 4 more ships. We already have some pretty decent looking ships already. This is looking pretty strong so far. We also have, I think, we also have another fleet down here, which could probably do with getting replenished. It's going to cost 1,600. Right, you know what? I'm going to cancel one of these ships. Cancel that. Fix up them. So yeah, we should have a pretty decent looking fleet in a few turns. Once we merge it all together. The Austrians are still looking a bit, I don't know. They've kind of just stopped. They kind of wandered into our country and then just stopped moving. As you can tell by the fact these spikes have turned up. I don't know how many turns you have to stand still before that happens, but I think it's like 4 or 5, so you can see how long they've been standing there. All of them have these spikes around them, so they've just basically got there and just stopped because I don't think they have any enemy. I think they're still at war with France. We were going to check, weren't we? Well, who Sweden are at war with as well, so we'll do that now. So France are at war with the Austrians, Russia, Hanover and Portugal. So they've got some ridiculous sized enemies, but nobody seems to be in any way bothered about going after them. Why nobody's taking on France, I have no idea. Why the Austrians have just kind of stopped, I also have no idea. Who are they at war with other than France? Gran Colombia, I think that was our doing, because they attacked us and the Austrians joined us. Quebec, United States and the Ottoman Empire, so they have some pretty hefty enemies as well. Not the strongest of allies. I mean, they do have Portugal, Russia and us, so they are slightly, like, they do have some pretty strong allies. Right, Sweden. Where are Sweden? Oh, there. That's why they're still in the major nations, I've no idea. They've got absolutely nothing left. They've got Finland and that's it. So they're at war, they're still at war with Russia. Still at war with Russia. How they have survived, I have absolutely no idea. St. Petersburg is right here, and they have been, like, the entire time, I think since I started this this series, I think we took Norway really early on, and then looked at taking on Sweden pretty soon after that. Since the first episode, Sweden have been at war with Russia, and Russia have made absolutely zero progress at taking Sweden out of the game. We took Norway, and it took us for ages to get Stockholm. We actually took Stockholm, I think, and then took Copenhagen, and then lost Stockholm in the process, so went back and took Stockholm, which we then lost Copenhagen to the Swedish, so we were just trading back and forward, I think, for a while. We do now have them both. We're at peace with Sweden. We could have probably ended them, but then I didn't really want to do that because the Russians, who we are now allied with, we weren't at the time. They would have been right on our border and would have probably attacked us, because it's like, you know, one of the easiest places to try and attack for them is Finland and Sweden. So yeah, it kind of we just kind of stopped with Sweden, and they are not in a great position, but how they've still held on to Finland with Russia attacking them, I have no idea. They should be dead. They should have died a long time ago. Russia doesn't have much to do other than take on Sweden and the Ottomans. I'm not sure if they're at war with the Ottomans, but I mean, they've got this like border here with the Austrians, and this is going to be like battle of the Goliaths. The Goliaths? Oh, not the Goliaths. The Goliaths. The battle of the bands. Yeah. So this may erupt into absolute terror at some stage. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already. They just seem to be kind of at a stalemate. The Austrians don't seem to be like that plussed about taking on anybody. But this may happen at some stage. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week. So if you've enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up, and subscribe as well if you're new around here to keep up to date with all my stuff. And I'll catch you guys next week. So until then, cheerio.